Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Oscar Bevis for IFLTV. Josh, good to see you, my man, as always. Thanks for having me down at the gym. How's things today?
Yeah, it's all good, man. All good. Boys training hard.
I just see Obi and Jesse Brandon doing a bit of sparring. I didn't catch too much of it, but it was good. It was like I'd say like a real life type fight sort of spar, but you could have watched that and thought that was like a title fight. That was a proper close up, proper like little battle.
Yeah, man, that's good. They spar quite a lot together actually. They do some good rounds. Yeah. So obviously Obi trains with Aaron now, but yeah, he's got a big fight coming up. He's got a rematch with Dujon. So obviously he lost his last fight to Dujon. He's since then lost to Lee Cutler's off English title. So it's a big opportunity for him to come back, put his name back on the map again.
Yeah, it was a good spar, like I said, and obviously going into his rematch. I just spoke to one of your new guys, Ellison Suchi. Have you got a thing for Albanians or something? Because I know there's been a few that have passed through this gym. And I spoke to him, nice kid, only 20 years old, but makes his debut on Saturday.
Yeah. You're right, man. It's a bit like the Home Office in here, mate. We got Romanians, Albanians, Italians.
And it's not like you're multilingual as well.
No. You know what? It's funny enough. So I always make a point of like trying to learn how to say hello, how are you, and come on, let's go. Like, hurry up in whatever language it is. But I quite like it, man. We've got a good melting pot of fighters in here. It's hard for fighters who aren't English. Is a reality. You know, I know it's different in other countries, but in this country, you know, everyone knows you've got to sell tickets to fight. We get a lot of fighters that come over expecting, you know, they see boxing in England as like this big thing, and they're going to come over here and make it as a boxer. But the reality is, a lot of times, it's a foreigner who can't sell tickets. Do you know what I mean? If you can't speak English and can't sell tickets, it's very difficult. There's only a few who've been able to do it. Ellison is lucky that Ellison was actually born here. So he was born in Reading, moved back to Albania when he was a kid. So he's got an English passport and an Albanian passport. But he's got an Albanian pro license. We've got to have his debut abroad, so we're going to Spain for his debut. All being well, we've got another fight in Albania. But yeah, no, I'm excited about him. He's 20 years old. He can box. He can punch, and he's got good backing, which, like I said before, is the biggest thing, especially for a foreign fighter.
Yeah, because I guess just touching on what you said about fighters coming over and thinking about the English dream, they probably see the O2, Wembley Arena and whatnot. But 99% of the time your journey begins, especially around here, at York Hall.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, of course. I mean, I've had fighters from other countries call me up before and said, "I need to get me a fight." I'm like, okay. It costs this much, plus you've got to pay for your flight, plus you've got to, they're like, whoa, hang on a minute, what do you mean? Like, I'm 6 times Moldovan national champion. I'm like, that's fantastic, mate. But no one cares. Yeah. If you can't sell tickets, you know, your English ain't great. It's hard to publicise you to the fans over here. The only way to make it at the top is to prove yourself. And the only way to prove yourself is to fight. And the only way to fight, unfortunately, in this country, is to sell some fucking tickets. I mean, so getting that through to some people is quite difficult. But some of them are going to make it, some of them aren't. That's just the game. Do you know what I mean? And some of them are good enough, but we know that being a good fighter is not enough. You need everything. You need backing. You need to be able to sell yourself. You need to be consistent. So yeah.
If you do make it, it's a good place to make it. That's for sure. And kind of a little run through the rest of the gym and kind of what's going on.
Who else got in the gym? I got a super middleweight, Brandon Lewis, strong, good counter puncher. I've got another lad, Alex Redescalu. He's making his debut at the end of April. He's a middleweight, so he's exciting to watch. I've got Giant Oguz. He's had 3 pro fights now. He's going to be out again in May. I've got another lad about to join me, but I've got to confirm it first, so I shouldn't say that just yet. But and I've got, who else have I got in the gym? And I've got a few amateurs up and coming. I've got a few lads about to go in the elites. And after that, hopefully they should be turning over. We've also always got Aaron in the gym. So Aaron's got his fighters. A few of Aaron's fighters are kind of there or thereabouts. I mean, like I said before, Obi's got a Southern Area title fight. Jerome should hopefully be having a big fight coming up. Unfortunately, Jack's just announced his retirement. You know, he was supposed to be in a couple of good fights. Who else have we got in the gym? Yeah, we've got Ollie Duffy, again, 5-0, good fighter. What else we got here? What else is there? We've got Mitchell Smith in the gym. He's due to making a comeback at some point soon. He's getting back in the ring in June. And yeah, I think I'm forgetting someone. I don't want someone to watch his back. I think I'm forgetting him. It's so bad.
See your mind working
Honestly,
overtime.
I'm like going, who the fuck is it? Who is it? Yeah. He's still knocking about a little bit. Tom Little's still showing his face. Yeah, he's back in the gym doing a bit of training. I'm not saying anything's going to happen, isn't going to happen, but he's in floating about, keep himself sharp, keep himself ready for whoever wants a bit of smoke.
I'm sure there's something out there for Tom if he decides to fully come back properly. A lot of the fighters that you mentioned are kind of in that early stage, like you said, the 2-0, 3-0, 5-0. A couple are about to make their debut, a couple who will turn over and make their debut soon. I guess that's quite an exciting time for a trainer. Yes, they're not towards the title level yet, and they're not looking at the bigger fights, most of them. It's kind of their time to bed themselves as a professional. So quite exciting that you're kind of going to get to see what these guys are really about now.
Yeah. So to be honest, I didn't even know if I was going to speak about it or not before, but now I'm here, I might as well speak about it. I had to have a bit of time out of boxing, to be honest. So I'm very blessed that I've got fighters that I've got now, and they're all up and coming, and hopefully a few of them do quite well. Unfortunately, it's over a year ago. I had to start again, mate. Do you know what I mean? I had to completely start again. I had a few fighters that were there or thereabouts. We just had a niece fighting for Dalradi for the first time. Bloke just fought Liam David for the European title. A few other guys up and coming in the gym, and then I had to go away. Yeah, kind of my life did a full circle and turned upside down. Ended up in rehab. And yeah, I'm not keeping it a secret. It's just, I guess I don't really know who cares or who doesn't care. But I know there's a lot of people struggling out there, and I was one of them. And yeah, I had to completely start again. So about a year ago when I went, I was done with boxing. I told all my fighters to go find someone else. And then when I made the decision to come back, I didn't actually think that I'd be able to pick fighters up as quick as I have, if that makes sense. But they all, luckily they all came back fairly quick. Yeah. But I had to start again. Like I said, I had to start with a few debutants, a few guys early stages of their career. I've got to just rebuild, start the process again.
Yeah. If you don't mind talking a little bit about it, do you think boxing's one thing you can perhaps attribute something like an addiction to? Because it can be a bit of a lonely sport at times. It's not the easiest sport in the world. It's not a consistent sport either. It's not like you're going in 5 days a week and kind of picking up a paycheck. It's quite a lot of varied things go on in the sport of boxing. So do you think that's kind of one thing you can perhaps attribute something like that to?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, anyone who's been in the ring and then had to stop boxing, they'll be able to relate to that feeling you've got. It's a bit of like an empty kind of feeling. I remember Kell Brook put it perfectly when he stopped boxing. I can't remember where or who he said it to, but I just remember seeing it. And he said, "I remember when I stopped boxing, I felt like I was dead. I thought I died." And it's taken a long time for me to. I know obviously I went into coaching when I stopped boxing. It's taken me a long time to really get my head around the fact that I was actually stopped. I think a lot of what I was doing, I was chasing things that I wasn't really necessarily quite ready for as a coach, just with this mindset that like I wanted to hurry, I wanted to jump the queue a little bit. And yeah, you've got that addiction. I never had a drink till I finished boxing. I used to have a few drinks here and there, but I was never one to go out and get smashed regularly. It's just after I stopped, kind of just had to make up a bit of time, I guess, in my head. But it was just that emptiness, that void that I had there that needed filling. And it's something I struggled badly with for a long time. I think I was suffering on my own. I now think there was a few people who kind of knew what was going on. But yeah, it was hard, man. And I think I blamed boxing for a lot of it. When I was in that hole, when I was in that low point, I blamed a lot of how I was feeling on boxing. Like, look what boxing's done for me. Boxing's taking me away from my family, and at the end of it, I'm making fuck all money. But the reality was, I think those issues were already there. I was just using that as a scapegoat, I was using that as a way out.
But it is something that is commonplace in boxing. Yeah. People who retire and kind of fall into a hole of certain addictions, etc. I guess it's something that, you're not the first and you won't be the last.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm sure I won't be the last. But it's it's hard because like, we don't speak about things. Do you know what I mean? And not only, it's not even just a man thing. It's just that like it's embarrassing for me. I didn't want to be viewed like that. Do you know what I mean? Although the reality is, the worse my addiction was getting, the more people I let down, the more unreliable I become, and in the end, people's view of me is worse than what it would have been if I just came out and told everyone my truth. Do you know what I mean? In the end, it all came out anyway, and yeah, people like I was surprised at the support you get. You know, obviously, you're put under a lot of pressure. All eyes are on you, and it's something that people are going to be looking. People are going to be looking over your shoulder all the time. But the support of people around you, like, you know, you really figure out who your real friends are. Do you know what I mean? In those kind of situations. But yeah, man, no, it is, unfortunately, I reckon it is very common. You know, the mindset of a fighter, the mindset that makes you a good fighter. You know, where you're about to walk to the ring and all the thoughts coming into your head, like, oh fucking hell, what if this doesn't work, and what if he does that, and da da da. And you get to the point where you're about to go in and you go, fuck it, and you hit the fuck it button, and you get in the ring, you do it. That's the same mindset of an addict, the same mindset I had. You know, every day you hit the fuck it button, just going for it. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing, and I didn't see a way out, to be honest. I just thought it was going to get me. I thought that was going to be the end of me once I really acknowledged the fact that I was in addiction. You know, not being able to go however long without a drink or a drug. Yeah, I was convinced that was going to be the end of it, man. And so I think, although when I went to rehab, you know, I almost lost everything. I almost lost the gym, my family, wife and kids. At the time, it was like the end of that was it. I couldn't have got any lower. That was my rock bottom. But looking back on it, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, if it didn't happen, then it was always going to happen at some point. It was always going to manifest itself in some other way. Yeah. So.
And the steps to recovery now, are you kind of still in them? If that's not too much of a personal question to ask. Like, yeah, no. I guess the recovery process isn't something that just ends as soon as you leave rehab.
No, of course, man. Like, the recovery process is never going to end. Do you know what I mean? I'm an addict, just like to the day I die. So, but it's just being aware of it and being able to speak about it. You know, I've got a sponsor. I'm working a 12-step program. Sometimes I don't want to do it. Sometimes it's long. I can't be bothered. But at the end of the day,
that's like anyone with anything.
It's like anyone with anything. You know, if
you're allowed to not be bothered about something just for a day, innit? Yeah.
I never wanted to train. I couldn't bother to train, but you got to win the fight at the end of the day. You know, it's not about staying clean forever. It's just about staying clean for today, and then waking up tomorrow and doing it again tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, I'm in the process. It's like I guess you could argue a lot of, you know, it's kind of a bit of a new addiction for me, something I can focus my mind on. But yeah, man, we're getting there, we're working. So we'll see how we get on.
Well, you're here now, which is the best thing.
That's it, man.
And the next champion's going to be seriously sweet. Just kind of moving on to general boxing stuff. Thank you for opening up that, by the way. General boxing stuff. Obviously, the biggest news story at the moment was a couple of weeks ago with Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou. Just first on Francis Ngannou, obviously had the close fight with Tyson Fury, and then all of a sudden he ends up getting ranked, and how good of a boxer is he, blah, blah. Then is taken out by Joshua very quickly, and then he's absolutely dog shit. That's just how boxing works. You're the best thing in the world, or you're a nobody. But in terms of Francis Ngannou, as a boxing man, would you like to see him stay in boxing?
Yeah, man, of course. You know, he's always going to be that bloke who almost beat Fury. So, you know, it'd be nice to see him, I don't know, fight like a Park or a Zhang or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Stay there or thereabouts. Make some good fights. But you can say the same thing about any of those guys. Like, look at Joshua. Like, if you look a year ago, if you asked Fury or Joshua, you'd be like, no question. I think Fury would batter him. But now, obviously, he's come back. Fury's had the stinker. Age has had one of the, you know, all-time best fights of his. And now, who knows, up in the air. I do think it all fits the mold. Do you know what I mean? It all adds to the narrative. We're all waiting for Fury Joshua. That's the reality. Fury's got to beat Usyk. It kind of works a little bit better that Fury did have such a bad fight against Ngannou, and then Joshua had such a good fight against Ngannou. Because that, yeah, for the storyline, it kind of evens it up a little bit. Because now everyone's like, oh, I don't really know. But obviously, you know, like we said, Fury's got to beat Usyk first. So I can see something controversial happening in that, just again to add to the narrative, just to build it up a little bit further, make everyone make a bit more money.
Yeah. There's always something controversial somewhere, whether it's in the fight, before the fight. I mean, we had the cut, for example. We had people saying that, which, whether you like Fury or not, was arguably one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. People saying it was a self-made cut to kind of try and delay.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Who cares? The reality, like the bottom line is, we just want to see Fury. We want to see Fury versus Joshua. That's it. The only reason I can see something controversial happening in Fury Usyk is for that exact reason. We don't want to see Usyk fight Joshua again. No one wants to see that. And if Fury gets beat, who are we going to watch? Joe Parker fight Joshua again? No one wants to watch that. So yeah, I don't know. I can see it going distance, Fury Usyk, and maybe being a bit controversial or not. Again, who cares? We just want to watch Fury versus Joshua. That's it. You know?
I guess even if Fury was to lose, Fury versus Joshua for no belts is bigger than Joshua Usyk 3.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Did Joshua do exactly what you expected him to do against Ngannou? Like I know a lot of people, Joshua was a heavy favourite to win, etc., and potentially take him out, but get in there, be assertive, take him out early. Is that kind of just genuinely what you expected from Joshua?
I didn't expect that. No, I didn't. I mean, I thought he might take him out later on, or maybe just go and beat him on points. Just because I know AJ's working with Ben, and Ben's like he's a clinical tactician. Do you know what I mean? Tries to figure everything out, and I thought he'd go and, I don't know, maybe show a bit more of a skill set. But obviously, if you go in and you can take the guy out, then why wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? Maybe that was a game plan. I don't know. But I wasn't expecting it to be that quick.
I suppose impressive from the sense that Ngannou had never been properly knocked out, nailed to the floor before. Just a quick one to end on Ben Davison. You've been down the gym, brought your boys down there for sparring a few times. Kind of got a bit of stick. You used to get some stick on our channel, actually. People used to call him Boxer Size Ben and say that he was just kind of nothing more than a weight loss coach for Tyson. And he's delivered some brilliant kind of career resurgences, Leeward, and now Joshua looks a much better fighter, albeit we're still waiting for his big fight. Just kind of a quick word on Ben and what it's like being around him, what kind of setup he's got there at the gym, because he kind of seems to be getting the praise he should have got a few years ago.
Yeah, man. No, I'm all for the setup he's got down there, mate. At the end of the day, proof's in the pudding. So he's delivering consistent, good performances for his fighters. I like taking my boys down there because there's a lot of good fighters. There's a lot of current and future champions down there. It's a great environment to be in. He's got a good setup down there with Lee Wiley and Barry Smith helping him out. Everyone's friendly. There's not really a lot of egos in the gym. Do you know what I mean? So I think all for him. And someone like Ben, if you look at the rapid progression he's made, you can't really knock him. Do you know what I mean? He's not doesn't show ego with it. He's fairly humble with it. And like I said to you before, the proof's in the pudding, so results speak for themselves.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.